live.
Right on. We're back for another week, and
Oh,
I'm
yes.
feeling a lot better. How about you?
That's good. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely feeling a lot better, too. A lot more clear-headed
Yeah.
and motivated and ready.
Yeah, same. And, just keep plugging along.
That's
You know,
it. Well,
just
before we
keep getting it
get
done.
too far into it, we actually
Okay.
have some new members that has joined the community, and we'd like to
Yes.
always read their names out as a little thank you to everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Lauren Wang. Yan. I hope I said that right. Zhang. Shen. Sean Fox. And, thank you all for joining.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. Glad you're here.
We
Thank you.
appreciate all of you guys for joining the
Mm-hmm.
Patreon and being
Yep.
a part of being a member. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So, for those who join the Patreon and those who listen to this after, you guys actually get to be able to ask Nick questions. You guys get to, do the comments, and you get to see and have access to this first. So that's the best part of that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Oh,
So
for sure. And we
exactly,
got one.
we did. We got a question in today.
All right. I want to turn back the clock a bit. How can I train to feel younger, get stronger, and live longer? All right. So basically, you want to mix things up a little bit. Train about 4 days a week. 4 days with weights. Break it down to a 4-day split where you do legs one day. Then the next day you do chest. Then you take a day off. Then you do your back. And then the next day you go and you do your shoulders. Okay. Then you take the next day after that. So you've trained 4 days with weights, and probably each muscle group. So like for when you do legs, you want to do about 5 to 6 sets for quads. And then you want to do, and there's multiple exercises go back and forth to both, like deadlifts, get your quads and your hamstrings. But quad dominant stuff, squats, leg press, lunges, drags, stuff like that, where you take a tire, put a rope to a tire with a handle and drag the tire backwards, and then maybe put, a bag on it and drag it backwards to make it more challenging. That type of stuff. You want to do about 6 sets of those. Then you want to do hamstring dominant things, which will be like deadlifts, stiff-legged deadlifts, back extensions on a back extension machine, or hyperextensions. And if you can do glute ham raises are also very good. Those will help. That'll be like one day, and then do a little bit of calf exercises. So maybe standing calves for like 4 sets of 20 with a comfortable weight for you to just finish the 20 on each time. That would be a day. Then for chest, you do no more than 6 to 8 work sets on chest. So maybe 2 work sets of bench, 2 work sets of incline, 1 work set of dips, and then 1 set of presses and flies. So it's a superset with dumbbells, and then another set of incline presses and flies with dumbbells. That'll be a good start to that. Then back stuff, you want to do about 6 to 8 sets of backs between pull-ups, rows, any type of row, whether it's low row, barbell row, whatever. And then pull-ups, maybe 3 sets of those, 3 sets of rows, and then some band work and stuff like that for your lats. And then, which you'll get some rear delt work in with that, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. And then a day off, and then shoulders and stuff like that. So like overhead pressing, you might do 4 work sets of overhead pressing, and then some side laterals. You can use cans, you can use weights, whatever, to do the side laterals, and then bend over side laterals to work your rear delts at the same time. And that's probably enough work right there to just get work in to train with, as far as your longevity and stuff, because the more muscle mass you have on your body, the better you're going to do as you get older. I mean, it's the real fountain of youth is having a lot of muscle mass on your body, because that's what falls off so quickly as we age. So the more you have on your body and the more you train it to stay on, the better you're going to do. And then basically, as far as feeling good, well, that's going to make you feel good too. Getting that in, one, it's going to make you mentally feel good because you got the training done. Two, it's going to make you feel good because you're getting stronger, and it will help you live longer as time goes. Your bones are going to get stronger. They won't get as brittle. The osteoporosis, I hope I said that right, will set in way later, if at all. Your bone density goes up when you lift weights. That helps with that. Proper nutrition is going to help with that as well. Those are big things that are going to make a big difference. And then take a day or two and just get out and move. Go climb a few hills, go for long walks, that stuff. Go out and be active. It doesn't have to be things that kill you or run you into the ground, but it just needs you to go out and be active. Go, like I said, go for walks, climb small hills, small mountains, that type of stuff, and just go out and be in nature and have fun. And if you're in a city or stuff like that, you can walk up hills, you can walk down hills, or you can just walk around blocks and stuff like that. There's things you can do. There's always something you can do. So just find the thing to do. If you live in a coastal area, you can go out and walk the beach. Walking through sand is a great way to get in shape.
Yeah.
But don't just walk on the wet sand. Go out and try to spend some time walking through the dry sand, because that's where actually the challenge is. So if you can get to where you can walk a couple hundred yards at a time through regular sand, that's going to do a lot to make you get in better shape. That'll help. Those are things that'll help. Just the most basic things will do the most amount of work. And I don't know why people have to overcomplicate things, but it's really not super complicated. It's just finding something where you get enough work in to cause the adaptive stress of the muscle to grow. You get enough rest in, you get enough nutrition in to get it all to heal. The training is just as important as the healing. So that's kind of like my biggest point to the whole thing. Training and healing go hand in hand. You can't do one without doing the other.
Exactly.
It'll be counterproductive in the end. So.
Absolutely. And then you got to hit the trifecta here, where you're doing the training, you're doing the recovery, and you're doing the work. But the thing is nutrition falls in that large category, because guess what? Consistent eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the one thing that you always notice what a lot of people do? I don't have time to eat. And it's the craziest thing to hear, because people, I don't have time to do the most important thing in the world.
Make time. It doesn't have to be real long. Like today, we were just crazy at the range today. I'm just busy running, gunning, stuff like that. I didn't have time to meal prep today, so I have a company where it's called a Loco Mocha. It's 2 hamburger patties and 2 eggs and white rice. I tell them to leave the gravy off because it's not that good. And I just have an extra bottle of chicken stock that I keep at work. And so I'll get that combination, get it all in the thing, mix it all up, and then I'll put the chicken broth on it to make it easy to eat. And today I ate it in like 5 minutes. I ate the whole thing in like 5 minutes because I was in a hurry. You still got time to get your calories in.
Yep.
And then in between, I had 2 protein bars when I first got to work, and I had 2 protein bars right when I left work. So is it great nutrition? It's not perfect, no, but it's good nutrition, and you get the protein in. The protein's probably going to be the most important thing you eat, because that's what provides your body the material you need to heal with. Your body needs carbohydrates for glucose storage and things like that, and using your muscles athletically. Your body will drop weight faster if you cut those out, because it burns nothing but fat. But when you go back to eating carbs, you're going to have a problem. So try to eat as balanced as possible. 40% carbohydrates, 40% protein, and 20% fat. That's pretty much the most balanced part. You can go 40 protein, 30 as well. But I like 40-40-20 for me personally.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like you find a balance for what works for you. Because that's the one thing too. People think that when you're on a diet, and like I said, this is the biggest part of longevity too. People think things have to be very specific one way, and it's not true. You can literally, everything's custom for everybody who does something. You know what I'm saying? Because some things work for other people, some things don't.
Correct. People don't realize, oh, I read this paper on this research. I read this on this research. You're your own research. Let me say that again. You are your own research. Just because it works for this person might not necessarily work the same way. It might work for you a little bit, but it might not be perfect for you. So I want to teach you to use yourself, give you some guidelines and stuff like that, and then use yourself as your own science experiment as we progress. Because that you find, okay, well, I did this type of training cycle and I got pretty good results out of it. I did this kind, not quite so much, and then I did this and I got the best results from that. So come over here and do the one you got the best results from. When you get bored with it, go back to the one you got some decent results from, and trade back and forth so you don't get bored.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of why I like the conjugate method a little bit and going back and forth. The only thing is that method that he came up with, instead of having 2 training sessions in the week, one's weight, one's heavy, and one's speed work, do it by weeks instead. You know, have a heavy week, have a speed week, have a mobility or a CNS week.
Yep.
Split it by 3 weeks. You'd be surprised when you find out how well that works.
Exactly. And when
really
Nick
will.
says CNS, that's central nervous system, for a lot of people there. Like it's something that Nick's trained all the time too, because like you have to shock your system for extreme load.
Yeah. If you're going to lift heavy weights, you want your CNS to fire, and you have to train it that way as well. So if you're going to lift really heavy, go and train something ungodly heavy at the beginning, but a partial rep. So like a block pulls on the deadlift, for instance, where you get up into the 8,000-9,000 pound range. My CNS is fried when I get done with that. And then I do the rest of my workout.
Exactly.
So it trains your CNS to go through it. And then your CNS gets used to recovering from that. Then you get into a strongman contest, and the first event's like crazy heavy. Most of the guys will struggle moving on from there. Well, now your CNS is used to it, and you're going to be fine. So it's just little things like that make a big difference over time.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. You know, and that's one of those things too. Is like we get a lot of questions of training, a lot of questions of nutrition, a lot of questions on mindset. But the thing is too, is people need to understand, like, this is all technique that you have developed.
Oh yeah, over 40
yeah.
plus years of doing this.
Exactly.
And it's I've taken a little bit from, I've learned from everywhere. I mean, you're always trying to learn, and you can learn, and you know how, once you learn how your body works, you look at something and go, that will actually work for me. This might not work too well. You learn your body, so you'll go, okay, well, this will work, that won't. So I'm going to bring this in, and I'm not going to do that part, because you learn how to read your body and you know what's going to work for it. So it's kind of neat how, you know, you're going to progress when you learn how your body works. You learn how the different types of food affect your body. You learn how different types of training cycles affect your body. Some guys function very, very well in high volume.
Yep.
Some guys do. Like every week, they can just do a ton of volume. Their weight's minimum to minimum heavy, but they benefit from that. Some guys benefit from not doing too many sets, but doing super heavy weight. I did a lot of that. But then I developed into a conjugate thing for strongman. I just plain out of nowhere, because I never really studied West Side until later.
Yeah.
much, much later.
Yeah.
And turned out I was doing a lot of those things. I just had my timing different. So it's which is kind of crazy how minds think alike without even realize what they're doing. So exactly. it's kind of neat, but you're always your own research. Write your stuff down. Or if you don't have time to write it down, do like a verbal notes.
Yeah.
Just talking to something, record your voice, record your thoughts on it, what you got right, what you got wrong, what
everybody
you think
has
you
an
better. App. You know, it's not super hard to do, but just take your own notes so you can go back on them and look at them and use it as a tool. You have so many tools at your disposal that people just don't use. So use them. They're there to help you for a reason. Develop the good habit of writing stuff down. Write down your food. And if you don't have time to write down your food, either take a picture of it or verbally say, hey, I ate this much this much that, this much this much that. It'll record it all down and then move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
You know, that doesn't take a lot of time. You don't have to sit there and write it all down. The phone now has the ability to do that for you. So just do that. You can send a text message to yourself that way.
Exactly.
It's funny how that works. Click in there, click on the little mic, talk into the mic, say everything that you just did into it, and send it to yourself as a text message.
You know, one of the things I just saw this week, someone actually spoke into their ChatGPT every meal that they had, what they trained, and then asked it at the end of the day to put it into a spreadsheet. And it was like, all I had to do was talk, and it made a spreadsheet for me.
There you go. So
how easy is that?
There's a great way. There's a good thing to do.
Exactly.
You just understand, though, that's a useful way to use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So use that. But just remember, ChatGPT is going to go out and pull information from everywhere all the time. Doesn't mean it's good information it's pulling from.
Very true.
Got to remember that.
Always
a lot of times it picks up things that are really, really good. But at the end of the day, it's not always going to pick up all the good stuff too. It's going to be other stuff around. So just understand that when you're asking it questions.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Or giving it instruction.
Yeah. And also remember, somebody's getting paid to make sure ChatGPT works. So your own personal experience, use it in ways that'll be useful to you.
Exactly. And document what you eat, document what you train, and do it in the most easy way that works for you. Because just like Nick said, it's a reference point. Did I feel good that day? Did I have a great training session? What am I doing to put myself in a successful situation?
And at the end of the day, go back to your notes, review your notes, and you're going to find all your answers in those notes. Okay, this week I did like 5 sets of each 5 sets of this muscle group. I don't feel like I got enough work in. Okay, the next week I did 6 sets. Feel a little better, but it's not quite right. The next week I did 7. I feel great. I feel stronger. All these things are working better. That's it. And it develops way out from there. There's so many different directions you can go into.
Yeah.
But that's being your own experiment. That's doing your own research on the thing that's going to know how your body works better. Nobody knows how your body feels better than you at the end of the day.
Exactly.
We can give you reference points. We can give you advice, like how I went through things or how somebody else went through things, and what we've seen work and what we've seen that makes people successful. But you're your own best diagnostics as far as how you feel and how you're improving. You're always going to be that way. Nobody's going to be able to tell you better than you on what your body's going through at any given point in time.
Exactly. Nobody. Exactly. And here's the thing too, is like, Nick and I, we both talk about, making time, making effort, but only one person can hold themselves responsible or accountable for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's the hardest thing to do, but it's the main thing that we all need to pay attention to, because we all slip, we all fall, we're not perfect.
Oh boy. Not even close, but I do the best we can. And
Yes.
we do the best we can.
Exactly.
And that's all anybody can do is the best they can. And if you're always trying to do the best you can, eventually you're going to be pretty darn successful at whatever it is you go after. It's just that simple.
Exactly.
If you're always trying to be the best at what you can do and give the best effort into everything that you put your mind to, you're going to do that. You just got to understand you can be really, really, really good at about 3 or 4 things. You can be average at about 10 things. And you can be okay at about 20 things. Do you want to be good, or do you want to be average? Do you want to be good, or do you want to be great? And that's how you got to kind of divide things up. You really do. And it's truly that simple. And if you spend the amount of time in that 3 to 5 or 6 task range, you're going to end up pretty good at all. You're going to end up world class at a lot of those things.
Exactly.
You really will.
Exactly. Well, let's pivot a little bit.
Okay.
And like I said, this was a fan question.
Yeah,
so
this was a fan question.
Yes.
Exactly.
Sorry. You know, it's how we
go down a whole rant.
That's how we do it, though. And
Right
for those who joined the Patreon, we have a Patreon where it's a group chat. Add in your question, and we'll pull it out, and you know what I'm saying. We'll discuss it just like this in depth, because that's one of the benefits about being a Patreon member. But what I want to talk about is this weekend coming up. We are going to be at the Olympia, and Nick's got a full schedule.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just discuss that right there.
Okay, so I'll be at the Evolution booth where Brian Shaw is and stuff like that.
From signings.
Yep. From 12 to 1 on Friday.
There we go.
And then for the rest of the time, I will be either judging or commentating for America's Strongest Man and America's Strongest Veteran at the Olympia, at the expo. So
nice.
I will be there pretty much long days doing the stuff and helping people and coaching from the microphone as I'm talking about guys and their efforts and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So if you guys are in the Olympia in the Las Vegas area, make sure you come find Nick.
Come by, say hi, wave. If I can come over and talk to you, I will. I'll catch pictures with you. I'll do all that stuff. I love meeting people. I love just saying hi to people and stuff.
You're very appreciative of the fans, because you know we've had this conversation numerous times. You know, Nick always says he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Yeah, and so he holds that near and dear to his heart. So just so you guys know, because like I know Nick sometimes gets a little emotional, and I like to say it for him.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to be there doing those things and judging and commentary and just
pictures, autographs, walking around too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Come up and say hi.
Exactly.
If you come up and say hi and I don't have time to talk to you, come find me again. The only time I'm not going to have time to talk to you for a couple seconds or whatever is if I'm in process and I have a place where I have to be by a deadline time. Yes. If I don't have to be anywhere by a certain time, I will sit there and talk to people. I love to do that. And I just understand if I have to go, it's because there's a time constraint and I have to be somewhere. Exactly. Other than that, I will stand there and talk to you. If I got a free half an hour, I will stand there and talk to you for as much of that as possible. So,
exactly. You know, the one part I love about going to the Olympia is it's the meet and greets for me. And and I'm not talking about meet and greets for Nick. I get to meet everyone that I like, and and because of Nick, I get a little bit of a line cut there, which I enjoy. You know.
Yeah.
So
it's. I feel very blessed. I feel very fortunate to have been able to do this with my career, and I've just had getting to do what I love to do. Is absolutely amazing, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. It's so much fun to come up and talk to people and see what they're thinking and talk to them, and they can ask me a question or two, and you know, I'd be like, hey, we'll give this a try, give that a try, and it's just fun. It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
So
I enjoy it quite a bit.
yeah.
With the Olympia happening, you also have a seminar coming up in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
So, that'll be coming in, Pittsburgh, Virginia, I believe. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be close to the end of November, I believe, too.
Yeah, it's November 9th, I believe.
At the beginning of November then, so I was completely off.
It's okay. And towards the end of November is OSG.
Oh, yes.
It looks like I'm going to go there and do some commentary and some announcing.
There we go.
If Lynn, if you see this, I'm going to be there.
All right, Lynn.
I'm just going to get the plane tickets because I haven't got them yet and send you when I'm coming in.
Exactly.
And I'll be there Thursday. So, yes.
All right.
And I'll leave Sunday. So, there
Sounds
you go.
like a plan.
Monday, excuse me.
Monday.
Yeah. I just haven't had a chance to do it and send it to you.
Oh, yeah. No, it happens like that. So, OSG's on the book. Richmond, Virginia for the Strongman Seminar with, was it John... why did I forget his last name? I was just watching a video of him too.
John Hack?
Yes, John Hack.
Yeah.
So, and he just broke
900 pounds.
Exactly. He just pulled some serious weight. So
he's a strong kid. He's probably one of the best ever I've seen. So he's pretty darn good.
Exactly. So that'll be a couple of trips that are coming up this year. And then what else? Well, let's get into the movies here. Because you did watch a new movie, and we discussed
really
it a little
switching
bit.
Gears.
Yeah, really switching gears.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I mean, one thing I like to do to just quiet my head and do the thing and just escape for a couple hours during the week is I like to watch a movie here and there. And this week I watched The Fantastic Four,
the new one with Pedro Pascal.
Yes, and that's kind of Pedro went from being everyone wanted to see Pedro to now people are like, I'm kind of over this. And, kind of the things he said and done, people are kind of like shying away from it now.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you're the it guy. Sometimes you're not.
You're not. Yeah, it happens. But I think people had the impression that the Fantastic Four was going to be another one of those Marvel mess everything up movies.
Yeah.
And they actually didn't do too bad. I was quite surprised.
Okay.
Wasn't real happy with who they picked to be Silver Surfer, but she did a good enough job.
Oh, yeah.
She wasn't bad. She actually did a pretty good job as a Silver Surfer. And then Galactus was pretty cool because it's Galactus.
Exactly.
And the story wasn't bad. And, Richard and Sue have Franklin, and that was kind of interesting. So that was kind of the premise of the movie. Galactus wanted Franklin. They didn't want to give up Franklin. So Galactus said he was going to consume the earth. So, and they were trying to find a way to stop it. And it wasn't bad. It really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, that's good then, because I wasn't expecting to hear you say that. So
yeah, because
you know what I'm saying.
I
haven't watched it yet.
A lot with the Avengers. I don't like what they did with a lot of the, Captain Americas and stuff like that. But this one wasn't half bad. It wasn't too horribly bad. They didn't try to go crazy, changing characters or changing. They went a little weird on who they picked to be some of the characters, but not too bad.
Yeah.
So it was actually, if you don't know much about the Fantastic Four, you're going to like the movie. If you know a lot about the Fantastic Four, you won't be throwing things at the screen. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Like I said, I grew up heavy Marvel comic books, cards.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying? And
I still have 4 long boxes of comic books. So.
Yeah. It hurts when they go so far off script where it's
they destroy the stories. Yes. It's like
or
the reason why we're watching them. Yeah, they're destroying the stories of the characters.
Yeah.
Or you completely miscast a character so bad that it literally destroys the movie or what the character actually was. Yeah, exactly. That's a problem. And I really wish people over at Disney would figure that out.
Yeah.
The reason why people are going to these movies is because they've read the comic books
Yeah,
way back in the day.
way
So,
back. A big chunk of the fans are going to be these purists that
and the
have,
adults have
yeah,
gone over their comic books from when they were kids with their kids.
yep,
So their kids have seen the old stories.
yes,
Now, maybe Marvel needs to figure that out.
big time.
So the
Big
kids
time.
know the original origins, because the cool thing about comic books is once it's printed and out and people collect them, you can't change the stories. It's not digital.
Exactly.
So once a book is printed, it's printed. And
Mhm.
if the book's 20, 30, 40, even 50 years old, kind of hard to change the storyline when you got it sitting right in front of you. So,
Exactly.
that's a kind of a pretty cool thing, because like I got Iron Man 55, which was the first appearance of Thanos.
Yeah.
I have Iron Man 1 through 10, the original from 1968, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have some really cool old stuff with really cool old stories, and a lot of the Amazing Spider-Mans and stuff like that. And it's kind of neat when you see things kind of stick to the way the old comics were when you were younger. So it's nice. But,
100%.
wasn't a big Fantastic Four collector, but I knew a lot of the basic premises of it. So
Yeah.
I wasn't like totally disappointed seeing the movie. So it was pretty cool. It wasn't
good.
bad. It was a
That'll change my
nice,
perspective. I'll
yeah,
definitely give it a watch now.
it was a nice little escape. Yeah. Would I be happier if they had somebody else in Pedro's character? Probably. It's probably somebody a little taller and a little thinner too.
Yeah.
But it's not a perfect world, and he didn't do a bad job playing Reed.
Yeah.
There's a couple times where it's like you could have been a little stronger about things, but other than that, it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad, because Reed was pretty tough.
Yeah, he was mentally tough and mentally
Yes.
strong in his opinions.
But he comes off very strong, very smart, stuff like
Yep.
that. But there's a
Very
couple points.
decisive.
Sue definitely ends up looking like probably the strongest of all the characters. I will say that.
Oh, she is supposed to be one of the strongest characters, but she never alludes to it in any of the comic books. But she, I want to say, she's not an Omega level, but what was the level underneath it? But she's like almost at that top tier in just her powers alone, because of the things that she can manipulate.
Yeah, yeah. And the Thing was supposed to be like really, really strong and really, really tough, and they made him look pretty strong.
Mhm.
So, but they didn't make him look like the guy that could fight the Hulk.
Yeah, because that's how strong he has to be, because he has fought in the Hulk multiple times.
I mean, he doesn't win them.
Yeah,
Hulk.
Exactly.
But he's able to fight the Hulk for a while, and then Rockman gets tired and Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's my comic books.
Well, let's give this movie a 1 through 5 here.
3.3, 3.4,
3.3. That's not too bad. That's
3.5 would be stretching it. 3.5 would be stretching it.
Okay.
But it's not one of those things you're just going to go, oh, I got to go see it. But if it's on, I'll watch it.
There you go.
So it's entertaining. It's not.
That's a lot higher of a star rating than I thought.
It's not like some of the other stuff where I see it and I start watching it. I'm like, oh no, you just shut it off and you're like done. You don't even bother watching the rest of it. So.
Oh yeah.
We all run into those movies. So.
No, we definitely all run into those. I want to talk a little bit on shifting on mindset, because we talked definitely about a lot of training and a lot of nutrition and a lot of accountability in the first portion of this. But one of the things that we always need to hammer home is, and just like you said, you needed to clear your mind. I'm saying we've had a few things happen. And it's like one of those things is you reflect, you think, but letting go of of life stresses is probably one of the hardest things any of us can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. You have to develop a way to know that there's things you can change and there's things you can't change. no matter how hard you try, there's things that will not be changed. And those things that you just can't change and you just have to go, okay, and settle it in your head. All right, I can't change this. Like, there's nothing I can do about it, So therefore, I have to understand that and just do the best I can. That's it. You just put it to the side, go, okay, but these things I can change. I can change when I get up every day. I can change when I go to sleep every day. I can change when I eat every day. I can change what I eat every day. I can change how I think about things. I can change how I educate myself. That's a big one. I can change how I educate myself. You don't have to necessarily be educated by a college to be smart. You don't have to. I don't think Elon Musk went to college. Last time I checked, dude's doing okay. He's doing all right for himself. Exactly. So might not be very well liked right now, but at the end of the day, he's a smart man. Yeah. And he controls a lot of things. There's things he can't control. And he doesn't try to control them. He just accepts them, does the best he can, and moves into the next thing. And that's what we need to do is people, and change the controls, control the controllables, alter the controllables, make them fit you and your goals in life. And it's going to be mindset at the end of the day that will do that. And some people are very motivated to make money. Some people are very motivated to be healthy. Some people are very motivated to be good parents. Some people are very motivated, to just find something to excel at. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with any of those. But find them and change the controllables in those things that'll allow you to perform better at them. Always be improving as the best you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, and quit comparing yourself to other people unless you're actually in a competition with them. Other than that, don't compare yourself to your neighbor or your friend or whatever. It's being the best you that you want to be. You always want to improve. Can Ben ever be as strong as me? Maybe. But Ben can be the best Ben.
Yep.
Can I be as strong as Brian? When Brian was at his peak, probably not. But I can be the best Nick. And I was able to beat him at certain things. I was able to beat a whole bunch of people at certain things. Well, I made the best of what I was able to do, and I over-excelled as much as I could at those things. And sometimes you out-excel your talent. That's the goal. When you can exceed your talent level through work and smarts, that's what you need to achieve. That's the thing to strive for. Exceed your talent level in anything that it is that you want to be. You want to be good, book smart, job smart, relationship smart, exceed your talent level. That's it. The goal is to be the best you can be. And pretty soon, when you're the best you can be, you start being a whole lot better than a whole lot of other people, because people don't try to be better all the time. And I don't know why. But if you're trying to be better at everything that you do, you're always going to excel. It doesn't have to be all at once. It's not going to happen all at once. Everything in life is a slow, methodical game. There's going to be things that pop up that you end up doing really good, really fast. And then it's going to be slow from there. And that's okay. That's where you put the work in. That's where the grind comes in. And that, in the end, will lead to your success. It really will.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And just like you said, it's controlling the controllables. Mm-hmm. You can't, there's things you can't control, and you got to let them go. And the things that can fix and help and motivate you are the things that you can literally tweak, fix, adjust, move, put in a new perspective or whatever you want to call it. And just like you said, those slow methodical gains start with those things.
Yep. 100%. Those slow methodical gains start there. And as long as you're constantly improving or doing the absolute best you can, you're always going to win. At the end of the day, you're always going to win. You might not win the victories that you want right away, but you will win. And you start stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking, stacking. And all of a sudden you went from down here to up here. And if you keep slowly stacking over time, you end up here. That's all it is.
That's it.
It's stacking the days. It's stacking the work. It's stacking the rest. It's stacking the mental work. It's stacking the mental rest. You don't always, and that's part of the hardest thing about super highly motivated people is they have troubles too. You know what their trouble is? Turning it off. Turning it off. Settling down, letting themselves relax and enjoy it. They don't have to enjoy it for a long time, but they need to settle it down and enjoy what they accomplished and then move on. They have to turn it off a little bit, and they will do so much better in the end if they just figure out a way to do that. They really will. So, okay. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, but there's that. You know what I'm saying? And, I think we covered that pretty well. But,
okay.
Something, the one thing I always get the most questions and the most thoughts, and, it's people love The Strongest Man in History. So, we've covered it here and there, but I definitely, you gotta, because there's so many opportunities and things that you guys done that weren't covered in the show. You know what I'm saying? So give me a memorable moment that you were just like, oh, that was crazy, or like, we shouldn't have did that, or like, wow, that happened, it wasn't on camera.
I think the funniest thing that happened that wasn't on camera was when we trained at the YMCA and Eddie dropped trowel on top of the leg press and was trying to fart while Robert was doing the leg press. That was absolutely hilarious. That was pretty funny. Eddie throwing a snowball at me that just happened to be piss.
Oh my God.
So, there's just guys being guys and funny, silly things that went on. That was pretty entertaining. The dinner that I guess Eddie and Robert had, where the guy that made the battle axe, I guess was pretty awkward, pretty outrageous. So I don't think that made it on the show either. So that one was pretty funny. There's just a ton of things that happened on that show that was absolutely hilarious.
That's one of those things that we'll probably have to have maybe a whole episode, a whole live stream of just kind of going over those.
Yeah. It was really a shame. I think another one of the biggest things is when Eddie was supposed to be there with his family and roast us all, and him and his family just gang up on the three of us. And it turned out to be quite the opposite, where all of us were ganging up and just giving it to Eddie, which was hilarious. And
sometimes it happens.
Yeah, there was a line through the film on all of it, and they couldn't use any of it. And that was probably some of the most hilarious. That had to be one of the funniest nights we ever had. Like total overall quality of the whole entire night of us all laughing. That was probably one of the funniest nights that we all had.
I wish he would release that kind of footage. That's the kind of stuff that we, the fans would quite enjoy.
Yeah. And then Eddie trying to get me to smoke a cigar the wrong way.
Oh,
that was pretty funny. Yeah, inhale it. I'm like, no. I think you're just supposed to puff it in your mouth and then exhale it. I don't think you're supposed to inhale it because it'll make you sick.
No, hey, let me tell you right now.
You'll be totally fine. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I a good friend of ours, he smokes cigars all the time, and I decided to join in with him, and it was worse than a hangover. All right, I was like,
it gets you
"Oh
pretty
my
green.
god!" I was not. I am not a cigar person in any facet because I was like, I don't feel well.
I typically don't like to poison myself that much.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll take a 0 on things like that.
Is that I caved into peer pressure. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where some of us aren't as strong as Nick.
No, like we've like I said, nobody's perfect. Or
Yeah, nobody.
very few. Let me put it that way. So there's always something, and you just do the best you can to mitigate what it was and get through it, and
Exactly.
go like, well, okay, well, won't be doing that again anytime
Ever
soon,
again.
or ever.
Yeah.
So
Lesson learned.
lesson learned. But John talks about a thing. Always find one thing during the day that you're never going to do again.
Yeah.
And get rid of it.
And I definitely did that.
Yeah, that was the one purge thing I did for that day, and that was something I learned from John, that the way he talked about it is, you end up doing it, not realizing it, and now it's one of those things. Well, I'll consciously think about that. What's the one thing today that I don't want to do, that I won't do again, because it didn't help me move forwards on something today.
Exactly.
And it's sometimes hard to think about that, but it's like anything. When you keep your notes, and you keep track of the things, go back to it and find things that work for you and keep doing them. Find things that don't work for you. It could be more than one thing. Don't do that anymore. Get rid of it. That includes friends. If you have friends that are helping you move forwards and support you in your goal, keep them there and keep them close. If you have friends in your life that are trying to divert you and get you to do other things that aren't good for your goals, make them acquaintances instead of friends.
Exactly.
Still be friendly to them, still talk to them, still say hi, still keep up with them, but they don't get to the inner circle anymore, because they're not their goals and their pattern and the things that they're trying to accomplish are not what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
And people that are trying to do other things besides what you're doing might not necessarily care that you're trying to excel at something. And those are the people that become acquaintances as well, instead of friends.
Exactly. So, and that's the truth. What I'm saying? And that's solid advice. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, every day, and it doesn't have to be every day, but you find that one thing you need to purge, the one thing you need to let go, whether you think about it or not, because like a lot of people don't ever really question when they need to purge things, because you just kind of think things need to be a certain way at all times.
Right.
I was like, no. What makes you happy? Keep doing that. Things that make you sad, things that upset you, things that make you mad. Guess what? You don't have to do them.
Nope.
That's it.
And then just move on to the next thing.
Exactly. Man, Nick, I think we kind of hit full circle on today's episode here.
Yeah. Coming back. Circling back.
Oh. Circling back. Back.
Anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know what's going on in your body. So write it down. Take notes. Take advice from everybody. Try some new things. Learn what works. Learn what doesn't work with your food, with your sleep, with your training, and with your learning. And you're going to be you will be far better off a year from now. Far better off a year from now. And these things aren't things that are going to happen overnight. They take time, but a year from now, you're going to be better. 5 years from now, even better. 10 years from now, you're going to be untouchable. You're going to excel at whatever it is that you've decided you wanted to be good at, and you will get there. You will get there. It just takes time. So put the time, put the work in, you're going to get there. And and I think that's probably a pretty good way to end the show. So go out, be great, do good things for people, and train hard, train smart, and be the best you can be. That's all you can ever do, is go out and be the best you can be. Go out and have a great day. And thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching this.
And we'll see you guys next Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Physically, mentally is debatable, but physically we'll see you. Oh, you got to try to throw in a little humor where I can.